I'm David Gardner. I'm the Deputy Commissioner at the Coordinating Board, and I'm really excited to see all of you here. This is a really important meeting, and I think it sends a statement to everyone that what we already know is how much you care about the education you provide, how much you care about your students and their future. And this is just one more affirmation of that. And we all know that, and I talk to students around Austin all the time, and I ask them questions, and they affirm that. And I just want to tell those of you who mainly hear complaints from students that when I talk to students, they're not complaining, and they're saying good things about those folks at whatever institution they're attending. And I remind them to tell you guys about it, but I doubt that they're following up on that. So on their behalf, let me thank you for all your good work. We're here because we have this plan. It's 2 years old now, 60 by 30 text, and we're particularly talking about marketable skills. And it's important we do that because we know that based upon surveys at UCLA over the years, students nationally, at least 85% say one of the main reasons they're going to college is to get a better job afterwards. Now, we all believe in that, but I just want to affirm that we don't believe it's all about getting a job, period, that there are greater things, that there are greater contributions from learning that. Many of us at the Coordinating Board were actually liberal arts majors, and so we believe whatever pursuit you take, whether it's welding, whether it's English, whether it's marketing, that you learn things, and you learn things outside your major as well, and I just want to affirm that. But we know that for the last 3-4 years in the national press, there's been a lot of talk about, is college worth it? How much debt students have? And we definitely believe college is worth it. I've read at least 3 or 4 articles just last week, again, people questioning whether college is worth it. Well, it is. And we're just here to make sure that we are relentless in making sure that's the case, and helping our students understand what they need to do to get a good job afterwards, how they can be prepared for that it's not just having the skills, but the reason we call this our goal marketable and not employability, as so many people do, is because we believe part of this is students understanding how to market themselves. How to look for jobs that you wouldn't think of. How many of our history majors necessarily think about what are we going to be doing after I graduate, unless they're thinking about law school or maybe getting an MBA? There are things that they do. There are companies that hire those folks. And I'll give a personal example from my family. I have a daughter that graduated from Carleton College last year in sociology and anthropology, and she's working for a tech company that makes electronic medical records as a quality assurance specialist. They interviewed her and hired her in a week. Why? Because she had a great education. They gave her a test, saw that she could learn things. This is not unusual. She is my daughter, after all. But this is what many of our students can do, but would they have thought to apply for that job to begin with? Now, somebody else might not want to do that, but there are many things they can do, and we need to be relentless in letting them know how to do that, and in the majors that are more clearly, directly connected to the economy, keeping those skills up to date, and that's going to be a challenge as we go forward, and that skills change, and we need to help you do that. We need to work with the Workforce Commission to help you do that. But eventually we'll get to a point where this is second nature. We know better. You'll have many students who can help other students. I've looked at I found some videos at UT Austin in their liberal arts school that were graduates talking about their experiences and in terms of how they got their job. There's a recent book from a business professor who actually has a degree, a PhD, I think, in Chinese civilization. It's really talking about mainly liberal arts graduates from Stanford, but I think there are a lot of good lessons in there about how people pursued their career. I just talked to a high school student yesterday on the State Board of Education Strategic Planning Committee who's going to start Rice in the fall and in anthropology. I'm very excited for her, but I suggested she might want to take a couple computer science courses to go along with it. but stay the anthropology route. There are other things she can do, but these are things that we need to help students with. And you guys are the ones perfectly positioned to do that, to make the case for education, to help students move on and do the thing I enjoyed most, at least for me as a professor, was that time outside of the classroom with students, talking to them about what they wanted to do and how they could move forward. So I'm excited to know what you could come up with. At the end of the day, this is a very challenging goal. You know, I helped develop Closing the Gaps and this plan, and I tell you, we always have one goal that's really more challenging than the others, and it's not just a cookie cutter that this is exactly how you do it. And I want you to know that we fully anticipate that every school will not approach this exactly the same way. So don't think we're trying to get everybody to do that. It may be that you know, West Texas A&M has its own approach. Amarillo College might have a slightly different one. A&M, being A&M, may have yet a different approach. I went to graduate school at A&M, so it's okay for me to say that. But having said that, I think it's just, I want to encourage you to move forward. I encourage you to push us as we go forward and to teach us what you know, and when you discover some things that you'd like to share, let us know so that we can share it with others. Because we have to do this as a state, especially as we know, at least 10% of our students, even right now, today, are enrolled at more than one institution. So we have to figure out a way to make this work for those students and the students who might attend. We've found students who attend 5, 6 institutions before they finish.